All right, welcome. Friday afternoon, a week before American Thanksgiving. What a great way to kick it off for some of the last few remaining matches of the first round for the main tournament of A Link to the Past randomizer. Round of 64. This is game 3 between two extremely heavy hitters, Zelga and Ralen. Been around certainly for quite some time. Veterans. Really not surprised to see them matched up in the first round, although maybe they would have liked better draws. But, you know, here we are. Gonna be a great match for AD keys with starting boots between Zelga and Ralen. It's gonna be a very fun time. I'm joined with the one and only Gem, who does know a thing or two about starting boots modes. What do you think, Gem?
Yes, big fan. The game is playable from the start.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Wouldn't want anything more. I mean,
exactly.
Okay, I do want something more, as in a sword, but you know.
It's true.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, I mean, you know, of course, your starting weapon, which we're not given in this particular mode because it is going to be open. We know we have to do all of the dungeons. You know, a starting weapon of a sword would be nice. I'm pretty partial to the bow, but you know, to each their own. You know, and of course, we have actually two amazing trackers for us. One kind of Syrup and Nervendwitch, who have actually tracked a lot already. So we've got a really powerhouse restream crew here.
Let's go.
Is this the sound? No. Okay.
No.
I
was getting slightly excited too.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting one. Yeah, this is game 3, so this is do or die. I was actually a bit surprised when I looked up like the previous matches, and you know, not that I'm saying like it's unexpected for this to happen, but you know, Ralen won the entrance race and Zelga won the open race, and you know, Zelga's like pretty known for being like one of the top entrance runners. So it was interesting to see that, you know, they maybe didn't win in their expected mode to win in the previous races. But yeah, now we're here for some good old AD keys action.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, and we actually see a little bit of divergence already. But you know, so Zelga is doing his due diligence. He's going to farm some resources, getting some money from the rupee crowd, which is always kind of nice to see. The tree pulls. I'm sure they're looking for some bombs, as Neverdorf kind of alluded to. We did check the lumberjack. Unfortunately, I looked away
some
just
kind of key.
Time. Okay, all right, okay, that's maybe kind of ooh. Speaking of some kind of key, we see the Frederick Haro Castle key already. That is
okay.
So yeah, that's a little bit of a. It's interesting this early.
Yeah, this means probably some form of Dark World progression in Haro Castle, and you need it to get either like the Boomerang Chest Zelgadissan or maybe to the back if it's a cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you know, yeah. I mean, normally, you know, like especially when so many keys like show up early. I guess there's only like kind of like the one and only Haro Castle key. But you're just a little bit suspicious, you know, because why did the game, you know, give us this so early in Zero? It could be nothing, you know, because it just didn't have any better place to be. But you know, you just can't help but wonder if there is going to be something, as you mentioned, in the front of in the back of Haro Castle.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see it somewhat soon. Because I'm sure these two are just as suspicious of that key as we are. Yeah,
exactly. And by the way, so Zelga, he found another tree pull, right? This one's big magic, actually really nice. To always get early magic is one of the hardest, I think, resources to get early.
Yeah, depending on what weapon we find, assuming we find any weapon. This can be very, very useful. Or it could also be useless if we, you know, don't find any magic weapons before we kill the dungeon boss, but what happens?
Yeah, and looks like Zelga, I mean, so he took the time to farm all this Ruby Crowd money. So worst case, you'll probably go buy some bombs. You only got one in this case for the village. You see Ralen got 2. Probably just gone from, and of course, you know, Zelga for sure is going to get some bonus bombs here. Ralen maybe felt like, oh, well, I guess I didn't have to farm the second one.
Yeah, it always feels bad, but if you don't have the money, you need to get the second one, otherwise you risk being behind the top of the well.
Talking about more money, by the way, I guess we do have a lot of money in the well. So maybe a little bit, oh my, okay, did we say something about Haro Castle and maybe the back of Escape? Is that what you said, Jen? Because I just saw the lamp.
Yeah, it looks like we might be going there. Yeah, Zelga's gonna feel a little bit bad about farming all this money. I don't know if he if the reason he goes like lumberjack route to Lost Woods is because he wants to see, you know, what the rupee crab has, and he wants to farm the tier 2 tree pole like he did here. If it's just resource based, or if he just wants to check lumberjack early in his mod.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least resource wise, it ends up not really paying off because there's just plenty of money in CAC.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned also like because we're going to Lost Woods too, we can get some other opportunities like just like the baseline ones first, right? You mentioned like tier 1 tree pole, the crab, they're all kind of available in Lost Woods. Zelda kind of went that, you know, as you mentioned, that extra mile, right, to try to get the tier 2 one because you had to kill 4 more enemies rather for that. Hey, look,
did you say something about being faster to the bow?
Oh yes, that is by far one of my most prized items. There's
Awesome,
might be
perfect.
even an emote associated with a little rat and a bow.
But yeah, that's nice. We even found 10 arrows, so we can use it. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll just start rushing that cape now. At least on Ralen's side, we don't have money for Zora yet, so that might be more motivation to take a different route. Maybe if the Eastern big key, we'll just go to Eastern.
Oh, that's true. We do need one more item. Yeah, for Eastern to be dippable. As per the spoilers motto that Zelga, I believe, has spearheaded, you do need the bow and the big key to Eastern. Now, he has said, as a disclaimer, that is really only applicable for entrance, and, you know, for 80 keys, non-entrance, it's like, sometimes, you know, you would still probably prefer not to do it, but, you know, maybe the rule is not quite, there's more of a guideline, you know.
Yeah, but sometimes you still come into the meme, even if it's
sure,
not
that's true. Yes. Yeah, Zelga saw the big key. You know, as you mentioned, it's Meyer big. Yeah, One Cup of Syrup and Durban Deutsch, of course, very, you know, active, very accurate to be able to track everything for us. Yeah, but you actually, you say that. Yeah, so Ralen is actually down in South Shore.
Yeah.
And Zelga headed straight to the castle.
It's actually exactly the reverse of what I expected to happen. One with the Zora money goes to the castle, and the one without Zora money goes to South Shore. Maybe Ralen plans to go left here. Nope, we're just going.
It's okay. It's the other left. Oh, by the way, there's a glove, an uncle. Very useful.
Ralen? Yeah, this means we don't actually need to go like through the stairs to get to the back of Escape. Though we still want Dark Cross probably.
Yeah, Ralen actually is. Oh, the mini Moldrums even drop arrows too. Dude, what is? He is.
Nice.
He is a master. Okay, we have done the 1 cycle or the 0 cycle mini Moldrum cave. We are so ready for the 2 cycle build ammos. I'm ready.
Let's go. Yeah, so a bit interesting. Ralen, even now, Ralen just did not care about the rupee crab, and checking it would have been nice because it would have given him money for Zora.
Oh, actually, that's a good point.
But yeah, unless Isort Cave has money, I'm not going to Zora here, I guess. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe he doesn't want to water walk, or maybe he just wants to water walk to only Hobo or something.
Yeah, it could be Hobo. Yeah. We're actually seeing a little bit of danger here. Like, he does have 4 hearts, so he's not in a one-hit KO mode, which is always kind of nice, but, you know, 1 crab does do a lot of damage. So we're just gonna...
We're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine until like a random bush guard or a grass guard shows up, or a bomb, and then just combos you, and then you're just very. We have both gloves, by the way, in the back basket.
Yes. Okay. We're just missing a pearl, and we can already go to Dark World. It'll be interesting to see where that shows up.
Yeah, ideally we would also like that hammer to kind of go along with that, you know, mid Dark World access, just because. You know, on the one hand, you only, you know exactly where you're going if you're going to go to Dark World, which is the one portal in Kakariko, or like north of Kakariko. On the other hand, if you want to go anywhere else in Dark World, that you can only go to the Kakariko portal, so it would be kind of nice to have a little bit more mobility. You know, but beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah. We saw Zaga actually invest a little bit more time there with killing the Vanguard. He had 4 arrows to kill it with the bow. But doing that leaves him with 0 arrows afterwards, and then he's like without them again. So he tried to save some of his arrows so he can potentially kill a key rat on his way to Dark Cross from the back.
I had heard that the arrows are slightly more manageable to use than with bombs. That being said, we do have enough health on Zelga's side, so maybe he is just one kind of do like the hold the bomb and kind of walk towards the key rat, in order to try and get some better aim or some better coverage. But yeah, it certainly does look like we're gonna go to Dark Cross here from the back, just because we have we have the nice small key.
Yeah, this works out kind of nicely. We don't have a mirror, so he ended up saving quitting from Zelda, so now we can just do Dark Cross from the back.
Yeah, we have suddenly a lot of health. Like so Zelda started with I think 5 parts going in, and then now we have 8. What's there, 7? Sorry, I can
7.
Yeah. 7.
Close enough. 7 is basically 8.
I mean, we're in Light World. Yeah, we got a nice little lamp cone as well to be able to see. Yeah, so I mean, so all of this certainly, is put in logic, and makes life obviously a lot easier, for both Zelda and Brand. I know that these guys are very capable of doing the dark robes. We've seen them do it. Well, I was gonna say in their sleep, or in the dark, but obviously, they can move it a lot faster.
Okay, now Lack of Escape didn't really have anything other than health, so Zelga's gonna do his Road trip now. I assume instead of getting his Thieves on Small Key from Hobo, he will end his route at Zora. And we'll also get Ice on the Ledge, which he will be able to get if he wants to, because he has bow and bombs.
Yeah, we also saw on Ralen's side earlier that the mini Moldorms do also drop arrows, I guess their arrow price pack. So once Zelga in this case, kind of sees that, then he'll have plenty of arrows in this case too. Yeah, as you said, Splash Elite.
Yeah, so he should be able to clean out the Zora area and leave Hobo for later. It's just the Thief sounds small. We don't really care about that right now. We would like it probably by the time we make it 2 Thieves. But we'll see if Zelga gets to that. Hobo is like not a good check. I don't think anybody would really play.
Yeah, nobody's really excited to make that check. There are a handful of checks where I'm not really sure if you can really make it that much, but Ralen, unfortunately, actually, it's having a little bit of issue here killing the guard. Okay, so we did it.
Yeah, I don't really know why he did not want to use his last 2 arrows here.
Maybe
he was very insistent on using his bombs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe as you mentioned though, maybe he wants to try and save a couple arrows just in case for the future. Like the arrows, again, they're right now. While they're a commodity, it's right now a limited commodity, and we don't really have that many more weapons at our disposal other than these bombs, right? So we need some mini Moldorm stats.
Yeah, Zelga gained 1 arrow in that mini Moldorm cave.
Perfect.
He came in with 12, exited with 13.
That's okay. All right. The warm up. See, I know that Ralen, based on his extremely perfect warm up from the mini Moldorm cave, that his bow Limos will not be. But it's kind of in danger. But Zelga, all your disasters happen in the warm up run. Okay, so I know that he is all set and ready to go for desert.
I see. Good. I'm very much looking forward to that desert. I'm sure they'll find their book and that Desert Vicky very soon.
Yes, exactly. And they're going to rush Desert Palace immediately after. Maybe Lemos has the pearl. We can only be so lucky.
That would be nice.
Actually,
so I guess actually gonna clear everything. Yeah. He made sure he keeps his water walk. That's why he bombed himself into the transition. Because if you fail this, the regular fake flipper with the screen transition, you lose your water walk. So he made sure he gets it guaranteed by bombing himself into the transition.
Very, very smart.
And he's gonna jump down from here and have the water walk.
Oh, see, this is, we can actually tell, Zelga and of course Ralen have been, playing this game for quite some time. And it's just kind of beautiful to see that these guys are able to just, remember these things and being able to kind of pull them off, and again, this saves a lot of time. You actually kind of see, even it was a nice compare contrast. Zelga, swimming up to Hobo and Ralen and then being able to dash out is, eons faster to be able to dash out like this. Something with boots, right?
You know what's even faster? Just simply not
checking.
the
Well, you know what? Okay, there's gonna be something in these big chests. Okay, I have a good feeling about this one. Okay, even though the flippers are nowhere to be found and it's kind of body logic, but the point is, you know, that is nice. Ooh, I guess we're getting that mushroom, huh?
I'm pretty sure Zelga will need to reset his Ancilla index by drowning a couple bombs in the water. Because he shot a bunch of arrows, which ruins the what's it called, splash delete. But yeah, we'll probably see him do that now.
Okay. Okay. How many is like too many arrows? I guess because he shot him like in Mini Moldorm, right? So like, is there a number that's like a threshold, or is just?
Okay, we saw him drown bombs there. Yeah, it's once you have a 4th arrow on screen, ruins it.
Oh, okay.
If you only have 3 on screen, I'm pretty sure you're safe. But once you have a 4th arrow on screen at any point, that ruins the index, and then you can't splash delete anymore until you reset it.
I'm learning. I don't think I ever knew that. I always thought it was just like you just shot too many arrows, but I guess it's like too many arrows on the same screen, as opposed to like you can shoot as many numbers you want in succession. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Oh, by the way, talking about auto logic, we got another item from our hash, which is the Cane of Samaria. I think we're almost complete. I don't remember all of the items, but I remember seeing a compass, a bow, and Samaria.
Let's see. Compass, Samaria, shovel, compass, bow.
Shovel, yeah, okay, alright, okay, with a shovel. Okay. Don't worry, I'm sure that's our pearl.
Okay, Zelga's going straight over to the eastern area, and he's leaving behind. Oh well, he's okay. Pearl is just here, so he doesn't need to dip eastern, so that's good.
I was close to that shovel with the pearl. We just had to cut out the middle item, which is apparently nowhere to be found right now. But it's fine, it's fine. Ralen, yeah. So, by the way, yeah, Ralen actually sequenced speaking up the mountain because he checked Lumberjack kind of late, and I guess he just wants to combine this trip. I guess we haven't really seen the flute, so it's probably maybe safe at this point to just say that the flute's probably somewhere in Dark World, so we have to go climb the mountain anyway. You know, it's probably fine.
Yeah, for what it's worth, it's not a sequence break. We have the lamp. We have.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot we had the lamp because we could actually see the old man being rescued. My bad.
Yeah, I know it's pretty easy to forget about such an unimportant item.
Yeah, I never noticed also pointing out that yes, the big key on Speck Rock Cave was Skull Woods. So Zelga's here in Skull Woods, the front, without a fire rod, you know, without Skull Big. So you know, if when Ralen comes here, it could be a difference maker.
Any pendant desert enjoyers? Are you happy this is AD?
Yes, because apparently for some reason. It's a family-friendly stream. For some reason, Desert Palace is a pendant when I'm around. So.
And I almost got to hear you swear. That
I did not say anything.
MSG, why do you have to be family-friendly? But yeah, somehow whenever you're here, Desert is always a pendant, and that's so sad. But luckily this is AD, so we're safe. We get to see Lamos. We have the GT Big in Skullwoods in the Big Key chest. Which, you know, it doesn't do anything right now. It won't do anything for a while, but it's very nice not to have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Of course, certainly required, you know, as mentioned, this is, you know, AD. And we'd have to be all the dungeons, including Aga Tower. That is something that I have heard, not through personal experience or anything, that you do need both Castle Tower keys and the dungeon to be defeated in AD mode. That being said, Zelga, maybe he's setting up for a death warp or something, or you know, death warping out of here.
He didn't even try to lift that one bush that can have a fairy, so I assume he just wants to death warp to reset his health anyway, instead of getting caught by a hand here at the end.
Yeah, you guys should see, by the way, that yeah.
We found a sword in the map chest, which is super nice. Finally, we get to play the game as it's meant to be.
Yeah, also, like...
2 swords.
Hello. Hi, Donka. This is, we're really getting our Brazilian steakhouse buffet to our, you know, fullest extent. We have 2 swords in Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's nice. Pretty nice haul overall.
Yeah, we actually kind of see just a little bit of contrast as well. You know, Ralen has the Cane of Samaria from Rescuing the Old Man, but I mean, it really is much easier to get to the Big Key Chest and Skull Woods with that Cane of Samaria versus, well, the intended way.
Yeah. Would you say it's the easiest room in the game once you have the cane?
Well, I thought it was the easiest from the game without the cane, but you know, I don't also run NMG at a 124 pace or above. So,
Ooh.
dude, did you see that from the big shot? Those are the flippers.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big. Yeah, that could be pretty detrimental for Zelga here.
Yeah,
Depending on when you decide to come back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's really fitting the whole blue theme as well. We got a blue sword, we got blue flippers, shoes. You know, we blue mail coming in at least. You know, for both Ralen and Zelga, but it's just more obvious on Zelga's side.
Yeah. Yeah, these flippers would be quite significant. They could also maybe not matter much if, like the mountain, whenever we go there with like mirror or hookshot maybe. If the mountain also has a fire rod, because then it's like I will just come back to clear scoreboards and just get those flippers on the way before they matter. If Swarm, however, has like the fire rod, then that could be very, very bad for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's certainly, Zelga, it certainly, has its outs, right? Just because you leave one chest behind or whatever couple the first time around does not mean that you're going to leave it behind forever, right? But yeah, we're going to have to need a little bit more extra incentive in order to go back to it. And given that he's already kind of cleared out the front, one thing that will bring him back would be the fire rod.
Yeah, another alternative maybe is he finds the Thief's Town Big Key at some point after he finds the Scorewoods Big Key and then clears out Thief's Town. Doesn't really find anything and then just goes up into Scorewoods to clean up that check. There's some outs for it, but yeah. There's definitely also potential for this to be very, very much in Alan's favor. We'll see.
Yeah. That being said, though, we are only 20-odd minutes into the seed. I did hear that one of the things, other than getting a faster time than your opponent in order to win the race, those who locate last, actually, first, whatever, is in a better position, because you really don't want to be the person still looking for a go mode item, before your opponent.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. If you last locate those flippers, potentially you might be able to go mode Ice and Swarm. It's potential. It's probably not likely in a mode like 80 keys, but you never know.
Yeah. And of course, being delayed to the flippers as well could mean putting off the very painful decision of doing left side swap. How many digs is this? Was this actually all 30? It certainly felt like it.
Might be close, yeah. I don't think it's 30, otherwise I don't think we would make it out before the timer runs out, but I'm not sure.
I did see kind of how Zelga was kind of like angling himself to try and get to the right side of the screen more, because by the time he was actually finished, he was pretty at least close to lifting that rock. I don't know if that was planned or not, again, but it just gave him a little bit of incremental time save.
Yeah, that's what he was going for. I don't know if it's actually faster to lift rock ever, but it's probably not like slower.
Right, yeah. I mean, all these things, I think when we were at SGL, Foxlisk, one of the, primary organizers of the NMG League, was passing out, they had t-shirts from the NMG crew called Time It Yourself. This is one of those things. Where, again, it would be kind of nice to be able to, have these times.
Well, you know what to do.
All right, we have finally made our way over to Hype Cave as well. Again, we don't have a hammer, so this is kind of you gotta make the most of your trips. We could have skipped the silver, Zelga, by the way. You did the correct thing, okay? You're not supposed to get them until we fight Lamos.
So close.
$29 digs there. Okay, thank you. Very, very
Tankir.
close to that 30. Yeah. Just for some, just for some reference, the game is randomized between 1 and 30 digs. So I mean, we were really getting up there in terms of how many digs we needed for this thing. Actually, okay, so this is kind of interesting. Ralen didn't take the smith with him. Zelga, kind of already did the first leg of the smith chain without the mirror. Gives him a much better position, to be able to do purple chests if necessary, for him. Maybe, but of course, if we just find the mirror, then this trip maybe wasn't necessarily, not needed. But given that we don't have a mirror, we don't have a flute, we don't really have much else. Certainly I think a very prudent decision on Zelga's part.
Yeah, so I wonder what Zelga's planning to do here now. Because taking the Smith puts him back in CAG, and the only thing we need to do from here is to go back into the Dark World. But we've already cleared out pretty much everything that's in logic for him, since he doesn't have the flippers. There's basically only the purple chest here. Which I guess we're taking, and then we're gonna route that into Agana.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sphere 0, 1 location, whatever you want to, consider it as. I don't know if you consider it to be bombs, as any type of barrier. The game certainly doesn't. It does assume that you're going to be able to get some version of bombs somewhere, but it is one of those locations where it doesn't really get checked out often, especially in modes where you get Dark World access, without having to go there.
Yeah. We'll see if this pays off. That would be pretty bad right now for Zelga because it just takes so long to do this with the mirror. Whereas Ralen,
I know.
he got his in logic flippers, which are also in logic for Zelga once he gets his Skull's big key. And he's taking them to East Dark World, where probably the progression is at.
Yeah, we did get a pod key for what it's worth in the purple chest, so you can never have too many pod keys. Zelga has 3 to Ralen's 2. We have Knight's Tempered Sword on Pyramid.
Nice.
Always really good to see. Yes. I mean, I don't know if that pod key is going to make the difference per se. It's certainly kind of nice to have, but it may not have been worth the time, as you mentioned, right, to be able to do it for purple chest. It's a very large time investment, but if it can get Zelga something that Ralen can't, it can be like the pendulum's going to swing a little bit more in Zelga's favor, kind of back over there.
Yeah, logic-wise, at least right now, there's probably something on pod. Either in the front that's like 0 or 1 key locked, or in the back where it's key locked. We do have 3 keys in logic right now. There might be a 4th either in pod itself or just in Eastern, which could put like the 4 key lock stuff in the back in logic. Either way, Ralen has 2 keys now, and that lets him get all of the stuff. So for immediate progression, Ralen should be fine. But then again, like the 3rd key lets Zelga get like Harmless Away or Big Key Chest, which is 6 key locked logically, and it could like give him some sort of end game advantage with some form of key. Finding a Swamp Small. Well, just the mirror away to be able to dive Swamp, although we can't do much without hammer.
What happened? I was gonna say, what happened to our hammer or our hook shot? Probably more so the hook shot. But you are correct. We can only get the first chest, and actually, like the first entrance chest of Swamp, not even like the, like the pseudo first one, which is like the map chest. Ralen does have the small key now, but yeah, really without the hook shot though, we can't really get much more. I don't really. Do you want to dive by Swamp Palace without the hook shot? I don't know. It's
No, you definitely don't. We definitely try to delay that as much as possible, but who knows, maybe that's what the game wants us to be. You can't really do much about it.
Yeah. Alright,
Okay,
okay.
so I got pick this Skyward Spiky.
Are we getting close to last location for him?
Yeah, we only have Eastern left and Skyward, and I think Eastern. Because you really don't... you have Mushroom, right?
Right, which is...
out of logic Mushroom.
The out of logic that's actually in logic, but Zelga doesn't know that because it's on Zora Ledge.
Yes.
So this could still be something. I don't think that he's a fake powderer, so we're good.
Good, very good. Yeah, I assume the idea is that he's hoping this could be the Eastern big key. So before he goes to Eastern, maybe he can snipe that big key and full clear the dungeon, but nope. Unfortunately,
No,
not.
that Eastern big key, you know, I mean, like in cross keys especially, I mean, any type of, you know, keys modes, Eastern Palace big key, Desert Palace big key, Pod big key, you know, those are very notorious keys, Meyer big key, TR big key, like, to be, you know, pretty hard to find just because they don't lock very many things. Now that being said, you know, this is AD, they have to show up at some point, but if Eastern's a pendant, like, it may not show up until GT, you know, type of thing. So... Well, Zelda, though, he is looking like we're going to go and bite the Eastern bullet. I was gonna say, I couldn't have anything else to say. I was thinking more of taking like a, you know, like a bitter pill or something, right? You know, we are here. It could be, again, you know, something good for Zelda is that, you know, the Eastern big key is just sitting here in Eastern, which has happened before.
Yeah, that would definitely be appreciated.
We're putting a lot of maps though, for what it's worth, and in the back of Pod, you know, on Ralen's side. Only real thing about like the notable thing, you know, other than the map will tell you what if it's a crystal or dungeon. You know, there is actually logic baked into this particular mode for AD keys, and that you do need technically the map and the compass in order, you know, before the boss. So it could actually maybe tell you something, however minor it could be. You know that your whatever, you know, Meyer boss is locked behind, you know, whatever 6 pod keys or something like that.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this map and compass stuff is if you read the pedestal and you find a map or compass on there that is not GT or Hyrule Castle, you know that your GT can't like lock any crystal dungeon stuff. Or any pendant dungeon stuff, I mean, sorry.
We found a big key to Swamp Palace. It was almost the Eastern Palace big key. Nice bait, of course. You know, as Zelga is, you know, muttering, I'm sure, to himself that, why am I here? Why is this happening? Maybe the Eastern big key is vanilla. Otherwise, after Eastern, I mean, we only have one more check left, right? Which is, I guess we have to go back to Skullwood's big chest? Is that actual last location for Zelga?
Yeah, but I guess we didn't find anything about, right? Unless I missed something?
We did not find anything in Pod. Oh, we found small, but yeah, but right now we can't do anything with
anything
it.
that's immediate progression, yeah. Yeah, so this must be progression, right? This is, I think, the only check left. No, that's Catfish too. Catfish. What is this disgusting seed? Why is there progression on the fish?
Oh, Syrup says that there's a desert small too. Never know which has a new name for catfish, by the way. I don't know if you would like to adopt it.
No. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that thing with the name. It's just the fish.
Oh, Castle Tower.
Right. That's the first of Castle Tower.
Yeah, great point. Nice. Yes. These are, by the way, really great locations for us to go back to because they're literally just like the one location, and we don't have anything else around it. No mirror, you know, to even make it palatable. You know, maybe combining with Pyramid. Oh. Yeah. Zelga, by the way, you know, Ralen's kind of, you know, getting himself to that type of, you know, scenario now. You know, again, like some of the decisions he's facing also aren't that, you know, attractive. Like, you know, first just a swamp, right? Even though we've, you know, already been a pod type of thing. You know, Zelga, I think, feels not great about last locating those flippers.
I am surprised about the save and quit because, yeah, I think Zelga also just realized they're supposed to stay in the Dark World there.
Oh, and burn the catfish?
Yeah, because these flippers don't do anything for him in Light World. He just has to go back to Dark World right now.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, because
the only thing they do for him is East Dark World access.
It's okay. Running back to Kakariko, you know, it's like, I don't know, like 25 seconds, I think. Something like that. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, okay? In an 80 key seed, you know, where we're kind of supposed to expect to take, you know, like hour, you know, 45, let's say, right? Not going to be the end of the world. And, you know, and Zelga doesn't know this, right? But Ralen's also getting some of the time back, you know, to Zelga by checking some of these, you know, again, these locations that Zelga did not want to go to, and they're kind of, you know, isolated and cornered, right? Like, you know, Agina, for example, right? Okay, Blue Cane.
Yeah, Ralen has put himself in a situation where he's isolated Catfish. He went to East Dark World. He only did Pyramid and then went to Pod. So Catfish for him is completely isolated. Whereas Zelga is coming from the north. He's gonna get it on the way to Pod. So if Catfish is progression, this is pretty good for Zelga. If it's in Castle Tower, then they're both last locating it, and it probably doesn't matter much.
Yeah, and I don't know if in this case Ralen will willingly go to Eastern, without the big key. Kind of saw in Zelga's travels and Ralen's travels as well. There was no Eastern big key to be found. And looks like we're gonna go to Eastern on Ralen's side. So all the time that Zelga felt really bad about, again, he doesn't know this, but Ralen's gonna get the time back.
Yeah, okay, it's the first chest of Castle Tower. Okay, actually I said they are both gonna last locate, but it's probably not true, because after Ralen is done here, he only has Murder's Smith and Purple Chest and Catfish left. And like, you probably do Castle Tower before that.
It's yeah. That's certainly the fastest of all things. Of all the 4 locations that you've checked, despite it being we have to go back to the castle and climb the thing and merely no flute, no mirror makes everything else look terrible, even worse. So
yeah. Smith and Purple Chest is just disgusting without a mirror. If you can't even slightly combine it with anything.
Yeah.
Like for Zelga, it was somewhat palatable, I guess, because he could, hit the Smith after Thieves and then these Wars and Keg for the Purple Chest and could combine that kind of with Agana.
Yeah, exactly.
But like for Ralen, it's literally just run to Keg, go to Dark World, pick up Smith, save and quit. Run to Keg, deliver Smith, go to Dark World, pick up Purple Chest, save and quit. It's just so bad. So
at least we have boots.
I would be, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I would be very surprised if Ralen picked that before Castle Tower.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand, the desire to maybe trying to wait for one Castle Tower key right before going to Castle Tower. Before, when they were getting their glove and mitts, from the front of Hyrule Castle, they didn't have an entry, into Castle Tower then, so it wasn't really going to be a big deal, like no sword, no cape. But now, it kind of was a consequence by design, is that now the Castle Tower chests are somewhat isolated. So you really, again, you don't want to go to one location just for one check, right? You want to try and at least make it 2, but this game, or this particular seed, does not seem like it would be willing to let our runners do that.
No, yeah. All 3 swords were in the Dark World. 2 in Scorewoods, 1 on Pyramid, so there was no choice. We're not even getting the second Castle Tower key to make it slightly better, like you said, to make it 2 checks. Just go to this 1 check. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna see what Zelga does with this 3rd key here. Like, the common meta is if you don't have the big key, you spend your extra key on the big key chest. And if you do have the big key, then you spend it on Harmless Highway. Reason being, right, if you don't have the big key, you want to go back to the back anyway. And then you can just combine the chest with Harmless Highway. But
what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, well, do you think Zelga?
It's also kind of preference.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask, do you think Zelga will actually spend the key to begin with, or he'll just leave it?
I would think so.
Because, okay.
I don't think we're concerned about Port Small Key Go mode if there's still 3 to be found in a seed that is going to be a 4 clear. Or at least close to a 4 clear.
The heart piece, by the way, was kind of scary for Zelga in the map chest of Pod. I think, for what it's worth, I don't know if he actually tracks heart pieces on his personal tracker, so it's always going to be a surprise if you end up getting a refill on that last one.
Yeah. If he doesn't track heart pieces, he should switch to Muffin's tracker. Just saying, Zelga.
By the way, we are seeing Ralen after getting through getting through Eastern. We are gonna do, as you had intricately described, we're gonna do the Smith step by step. we're like step 2 into like 10.
Okay, that's an interesting choice.
I
It
wonder
might
if
also
also
just
this
be a
is
thing
the...
of
Mhm.
forgetting about Castle Tower. Like, I'd have that occasionally where I just kind of forget it's there.
Mhm. I was actually wondering also maybe this is going to be somewhat just trying to like hedge because Ralen, as we saw on Zelga's side, like Zelga did the Smith at the very first opportunity going into Dark World, and Ralen didn't. But I think I'm sure he's aware that Zelga like could have actually done this, right? So maybe he's also just kind of like a let's go do this just in case, right? Because Castle Tower, if it if it does have progression, right? Zelga also will not have the opportunity to go there, by itself.
Yeah, that might be the case. Yeah, it's hard to say what goes through these runners' heads during the race.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel bad about how the race goes, which I mean, at this point you're pretty close to last locating, you only have terrible checks left. Like, you can convince yourself that your opponent did all kinds of things.
Yes. Are you speaking from personal experience, out of curiosity?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, again, I don't know how much metagaming, both Zelga and Ralen do. Again, they've been playing tournaments for, a very long time, so they have a lot of tournament experience. That being said, I'm sure sometimes they probably, do a little bit of metagaming. Maybe sometimes they just kind of, put their head down and, play their game, right? Whatever. And I'm sure it varies from seed to seed, from opponent to opponent and stuff like that. But it looks like actually we are gonna go. Zelga is gonna be the first ones to our final last location.
Yeah,
that I'm sure
we
everybody's
can
feeling
actually-
absolutely great about.
Yeah, we can actually see Zelga's thoroughness paying off here. Like this is already his last location, and Ralen has to clean up the purple chest still. He has to still go to Catfish. Nice hook shot. Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm. The hook shot gives us more mountain stuff, right? That's the only thing.
Just the mountain stuff for now until we get a mirror for Swamp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But even then, Swamp only has 2 checks on Logic without the hammer. Okay, Ralen. Catfish or Castle Tower? Okay, at least we're skipping Catfish.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least sometimes safe, but yeah, thoroughness really paid off here because both runners have last locating.
Hey, look, it's our mirror.
We can go clear Swamp, except you have to go the long way. Yay. So the mirror gives us Hera, the mirror gives us Graveyard Ledge and K45 and 2 checks in Swamp.
I think the hammer
Isn't that
also.
all very great?
It is, yes.
Oh,
we also found the
I
hammer.
missed that.
Yeah, we found the hammer in Paradox. So yeah, we don't have to go we don't have to go to Swamp the long way. We don't have to go anything long way. We actually get to get everything in Logic. This early, I would imagine that Zelga would do all of left side or all of Swamp, including left side.
Sure.
Yeah, we are missing. Despite having basically crawled through the entirety of the world, we don't actually have that much opened up to us. Other than Swamp, and I guess like, wait, never mind. We have 2 dungeons, right? We can do Hera. Yeah, we even have the big key, and forget about Hera Basement. That check doesn't exist until we go find, well, nothing. Oh, I mean, we can find everything. That check can still not exist. So.
Yeah, what if it just doesn't exist? I'm
exactly.
more for that.
Yeah. Oh, very nice Hera pot there. I thought he wasn't gonna be okay, but then he adjusted himself, I guess, to be okay, which is good. Zelga's Hera pots have always been very quick. It's also been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's really sick to be this consistent with it.
I'm just gonna complete our map collection. Forget talking into the bomb shop dude or Saha. We're just gonna get all our maps, like the old-fashioned way, collecting them out in the wild.
Yeah, good old VT branch 80 keys,
Mm-hmm.
where you just find all the maps and compasses instead of anything else.
And having Tempered Sword for this fight. Oh, so much nicer. than having
so comfy.
any other weapon, basically.
Okay,
I noticed we picked up.
shows
Oh, that's right. Does Zelga
a
just fire
preview. No, he's gonna do it after.
Oh, okay.
So like I ran over to Heron, now he's gonna run back, I think.
I see. Okay.
And Ron's gonna do all of East of Mountain, including Dark World first, and then go to Hera afterwards.
Okay. So I guess in this case, is Spike Cave just not gonna get checked then? Seems kind of awkward to be able to try and combine this with the rest of the mountain then.
Yeah, Ralen can do it, in theory, but I don't. Do we have anything good in our bottles?
We have a red potion, I think.
Okay, and then we could brute force it that way. It's not a logic for sure, since we have neither Cape nor Blue Cane.
Right. We did see Blue Cane for what it's worth on Desert Ledge, but yeah, we don't, and we don't have a flute or a book to get it. So yeah, you're definitely right. It's still out of logic. But I guess like one of those things does exist, at least that we know of.
Yeah, it could be interesting if we maybe find a flute or a book in here. Then that could push these runners to find brute force Spike Cave, because now they know it's in logic. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, I definitely didn't get a chance to see that. Okay, it is Bombos. Right.
Bombos.
Yep. And one of and Syrup also both just marked it on the tracker, so I should just look down. Okay.
Always
so
trust the trackers.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, so Bombos is multi utility, because it can also be our ticket to going into Ice Palace. Certainly is our ticket to going to Turtle Rock. And that being said, we still have to go find it.
Yeah, for now, there's nothing on the mountain for us anymore, other than this mirror and the hammer. So, I assume the next thing we see is both of these going. Well, Ralen is going to clear Hera first, but then both of them will probably just go into Swamp. And depending on whether they find anything or not, they're going to make like a northwest loop, check K45 and hammer packs, and then maybe move on to Graveyard Edge. But like, there's probably something in Swamp, so that's probably gonna change things.
Yeah, Swamp has 14 checks, right, in Key Sanity?
Yes, I think. Maybe.
I think
probably.
14, yeah. And and we even have the big key to Swamp as well. We got that in Eastern.
Is it 14? It's 10. It's 10. Man, I played too much key.
10? Oh, 10. Thank you. Thanks. Sorry. Thanks, Captain. Just remember 14 being in one of the things I remember was Swamp, and yes, that was not the right mode.
Yeah, I just opened up a tracker to find out. But yeah, key drop is 15. I've looked at that too often lately.
All right, okay, 10 checks in Swamp. Yeah, with the big key even, because we got that in Eastern. Both of them have it for what it's worth, because both went into Eastern without the big key, hoping to find, well, anything that will not have them last locate their hook shot in the first Chelsea Castle Tower. But yeah, we definitely got some. We still have a couple stragglers left. As you mentioned before, Graveyard Ledge right now is, well, sticking with the theme of Zelga. Hello, Bombos. It is probably one of the, outside of Luxide Swamp, it's probably one of the few locations that Zelga, I think, has gone consistently burned by. No pun intended, of course. Which is Graveyard Ledge. Like, he's lost, I'm sure many people have, but it's just, those are one of those locations that really stick out for Zelga. Yeah, but Ralen, I guess, for what it's worth, does have an opportunity to do it with Catfish if he so chooses. But that being said, it's maybe like minusculely more likely that Ralen will go over there versus Zelga.
We should just never do it. That's my favorite kind of Graveyard Edge. Okay, we're doing left side wrong. Zelga's going left side.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, Ralen did catch a fairy immediately before this, so we're just gonna use it. We can use it here.
Yeah, I guess did he use his red potion maybe? Oh, there's something here. Desert big.
That's
wow.
Big key to desert. Ooh, that is very, very good. That's a very good find for Ralen. Again, Spike Cave. For Zelga right now, we can go back. There are opportunities around that check, like Hera Basement, which may or may not exist, and Ether Tablet, which we're gonna have needing the book for. But yeah, that Desert Palace big key is gonna be a little bit more out of reach for Zelga at this point.
Yeah, troublesome is also that desert is a pendant, so Zelga might
Yo, you're
search
right.
all of GT
Oh,
before
no.
finding it,
Oh,
depending
no.
on whether there's anything in the Wiki log checks in desert.
Oh, I don't want to think about this. Why desert? Why must you be a pendant?
Why did you first see it?
Yes, I know. I should
Somewhere when you're there,
It
desert is always a pendant.
makes it easier for spoiler because I only have to list down 2 pendant dungeons and then you just know what the third one is.
That's true.
Time save. Time save. Alright, did we find anything? What was the left side? Well, 20 rupees and... I forgot what was even on left side.
Some other junk.
Was
Yeah, it was some other
okay,
junk.
yeah. 2 red? Okay, thank you.
was a heart.
Thank you, Never Nush. A heart? Okay, well, whatever. Okay, it's not important. Yeah, we found bombos in the first chest. And, you know, the entrance chest, what Ralen did also just pick up immediately. So, we don't... Yeah, we'll see what else happens. But, you know, with the bombos medallion, we do have entry into Turtle Rock. We have Keen Samari, we have Ether Tablet... yeah, we have bombos medallion. We have, looks like 2 small keys. So we can get kind of far. Probably not very palatable to get up there because another mountain trip. We're probably...
Yeah.
But then... Yeah, I guess we can go to Ice Palace. This looks fine, right?
Yeah, but I think they'd much rather go to ice. We even have the big key, so it's a could be full clear. Yeah, TR is not great right now. Because I guess 2 keys... No, we don't have big key, yeah, so you can't even get to Laser Bridge. So it's really just the front stuff. But you can't get Roller Room either. It's really just not a lot.
We found the big
Zelga's
Eastern
favorite key.
Palace. Yes. Alright, I guess we technically didn't need the big key to Swan Palace, which was in Eastern. Nice, all 4 bottles. You know, so, but I think it's very defensible that Zelga and, of course, Ralen went into Eastern without the big key to make it fully dippable in order to try and find their progression. Because, you know, again, having Castle Tower first check as your only, you know, option when you've already been to the castle, right, isn't very appealing to go to. When you have, you know, 4, potentially more, you know, items in Eastern to go after.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if Eastern has any immediate progression. Because right now these 2 are going to try and delay it until they can clear it with pod.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
That's-
that. Like, if you think that they're gonna try and do it with pod versus like just go back immediately with pod. Oh no, Steve's down.
Yeah, I mean, for now they have plenty of stuff to do. They can full clear ice, they can full clear thieves. So, you know, they have things to do. There's no reason to rush Eastern right now. Yeah, in fact, Zaga's going to do this, like, northwest loop from here. Now that you have this, has the Thief sound big.
Yeah, this is actually gonna be really nice and convenient. I'm sure Ralen's gonna have a very similar experience, right? In just being able to, as you mentioned, clean up these mirror lock locations, the hammer lock locations, and then just go take out another, you know, fully clearable dungeon. The more dungeons in this case we defeat, right, the more information we'll have about prizes as well. Like, we know that Swamp is a pendant because we actually picked up the pendant from the boss. We know that Desert's a pendant from talking to Sahasrara.
Yeah, there's still one more pendant out there, which, well, we'll learn what it is eventually. Because we gotta do them all.
Yeah, we just want to make sure, you know, in this case, you know, like, if the third pendant shows up, maybe, you know, the pedestal, being able to pull it, that can also lead to some progression, right? Maybe some more knowledge about what you potentially can be in GT as well. Notably, we don't have any Castle Tower keys yet. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, that's probably just going to be in GT because, well, we did see a small key on Lumberjack Ledge, but, you know, that's probably just the GT small, so it doesn't even matter.
I would be pretty surprised if there was a Castle Tower key sitting on Lumberjack, you know. just a note.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be indeed very weird. I meant it more in the sense of it could be, you know, like a crystal dungeon key that we actually.
Oh yeah. It could be. It could also be like a Meyer small. Yeah, one of those keys that we don't really care about, right? Ice Palace small key, Meyer small key. Well, I guess we maybe care about the first one in that it's more convenience for us, but you know, logic-wise, it's not very important.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ralen is finishing up Argus here. It's gonna be interesting to see if he also decides to follow Zelga's footsteps here and go to Thieves Town to clean up these overworld checks on the way. It could also just... he might also decide to go to Ice instead. Because there's some things, like some reasons to go to Ice here instead. Like you could find the fire out there. So then once you do Thieves, you can go up and go straight into Scorewoods afterwards, so you don't have to return to this area. You could find the flute to activate it when you clear Thieves. You could find both those things and then just really never have to return here ever again.
By the way, does Zelga do hammer picks?
Yeah.
Did I just miss it? Or did he just go straight to Thieves Town? Nice fire rod, by the way.
Okay.
We'll just go.
Yeah,
what were you just saying? 5 seconds ago? Going straight into Skullwoods?
I guess that's what we're doing.
Okay. Alright, you did not do it? Thank you, Syrup. Yeah,
Okay,
I
thank you.
did not remember in this case. Like, what? Like, I don't remember seeing it, but it doesn't mean that just because I didn't see it didn't mean it didn't happen. So.
Yeah, I also didn't remember seeing it, but
You
know,
I
don't trust myself as a commentator to actually see things.
Yeah, our job is to talk, not to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our tracker's job.
I don't know. I'm not really a fan of picking up maps in 80 keys. Like, you don't really care if a dungeon is a crystal or pendant, because you're just gonna clear them anyway. Like, there's some benefit to knowing, right? Because you can know, like, keys for this dungeon can be in GT or not. And you also know I need to clear these dungeons to be able to do GT. But for the most part, it just doesn't really matter. And you can often also kind of tell by how many keys you have for each dungeon if it's gonna be a pendant or crystal. There's powder here. Interesting.
What a very convenient powder, actually.
Yeah. Can just turn it right in. Okay, so I got to do hammer packs now.
Okay, and and Magic Bat. He doesn't know if he can do Magic Bat yet, but he will do it. I'm wondering actually if maybe just forgot about it earlier, or maybe he didn't want to do it, and then he'll be whatever. He's here now. The point is they're both here now.
Maybe the idea was to send Quid out of here. I think that's probably slightly faster to do Thieves first and then save Quid out of Hammerpack's cave. But then he found the fire rod in Thieves, so now he just wants to go to Scorewoods next anyway. So that kind of ruined his plan, probably.
Okay, so suddenly, after an extremely long and drawn-out light world to try and find our hookshot in Castle Tower first chest, we actually have a lot of stuff that we can go do now. What else do we need for go mode?
We need a flute, yeah, for minor set access. We need Ice Rod for TR. We need a Port Big. Zelga still needs to get his Desert Big out of Bike Cave. And then we need one more TR small, TR big, and we need 2 Castle Tower smalls.
2 Castle Tower smalls, gotcha. We'll just put them on the very bottom of the list because, not because they're not, important. It's just they're just gonna always be the last the go mode item in this mode. All right, like if not Castle Tower 1, it's gonna be Castle Tower 2. That's just how it works. All right, Zelga actually gonna do his due diligence, making sure that there are no isolated checks. So this actually gives me a little bit of hope, actually, for Spike Cave for Zelga, because again, that location isn't going to be very appealing for Zelga, unless maybe he finds something else. But there is some willingness, if he's going to go all the way here to Graveyard Ledge, that he might just try and knock out Spike Cave later as a one-off.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully. For his sake, I do hope he does Spike Cave. Do you think he picked up this map and not the one in K45 because this one was the eastern map? And that's his mean dungeon.
Yes, you can definitely tell, from looking at the map which map it is. You actually can't. But yeah, my guess is maybe it was just super close, and that's all. I just picked it up. Yeah, you gotta go pretty deep in that K45 cave. You gotta pick up a couple pots. You gotta go all the way in. You gotta go all the way out. I don't know if we can spare that time.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
he knows that because he's on restream that it's like surely Ralen will pick it up. So then he doesn't have to do it for us. Right?
He's on restream, so he should make sure to pick up all the compasses until he finds the one that matters.
We haven't skipped any compasses, right? I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Just haven't found it yet.
Mm-hmm. And actually, we're kind of running out of freestanding locations where I think they can actually go and skip it. Like, we saw Floating Island already, that was a map. We saw K45, that was a map. We saw Zora Ledge, that was a mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
Compass to desert.
Yeah, true. This is not key drop, so we won't see any compasses drop and then not being picked up. So, surely we'll get it, you're right. It could be on a torch.
It could be on torch, it's true. Yeah, we haven't been able to go into desert, or mire for that matter, without the flute or a book. So, we don't really know what's kind of inside. We do have a Desert Palace small key. And of course, Ralen has a Desert Palace big key, as you said. So that is going to be, something else at least that Ralen can do to give us kind of sneak peek of that dungeon.
Yeah, but first we'll need to find the flute, which I mean probably is just an ice palace at this point.
So yeah, suddenly, after like 41 ever minutes of not being able to do basically completion of any dungeon, we are finally able to knock out 4 dungeons, I think in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was.
At some point, the game just has to let us, it can't just always keep the progression hidden.
Alright, looks like Ralen is not going to go check Graveyard Ledge. If he doesn't check Graveyard Ledge or Catfish, it will save him, a good amount of time. And time he'll never have to get back to Zelda.
Yeah, he might just do the garbage cleanup sometime later. When he finds like Pyramid Ferry with K45 and Catfish.
Right. Actually, that's a good point. Ralen actually knows about Pyramid Ferry. I don't think Zelda's talked to the bomb shop guy.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, actually, true. Ralen knows that he can get Pyramid Ferry once he clears ice.
Yeah, it's actually kind of convenient.
That might be his plan.
I was gonna say, like, I'm actually not sure who's tracking whom. Like, Syrup is tracking Zelda, Nerventure is tracking Ralen, or vice versa. But I think it's actually kind of nice that, Ralen's 5-6 crystals are marked because he was the one who talked to them, and Zelda's aren't because Zelda doesn't know.
Yeah, it's nice that the tracker shows the knowledge of these runners. Great job, guys.
Alright, so we have Kena Samaria, which of course makes full clearing Ice Palace significantly faster than if you didn't have the Kena Samaria, or even for that matter, an Ice Small. Actually, so does the Ice Big do anything for us, for routing, other than just getting us the big chest? Nothing? Something?
Yeah, we need to hit the switch. Like, you could see Zaga didn't out of the room to hit the switch and then come back. Because he can, as the Kane has the big key, he can just do the well, I say non-glitch route, but obviously we just ice break it. But he can put the Samaria block on the switch before it goes there.
Okay. All right, one.
Yeah, that's the TR break.
Yeah, one pesky, elusive big key found. For Zelda.
Okay, we can now make it to Laser Bridge.
Uh-huh.
It's not a logic because we need the third key, but we can get there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, under what circumstances would you be willing to go up to Turtle Rock, with only 2 keys and the 4th a big key, hoping in this case to find like a 3rd key, the small key to this dungeon.
We're also missing the ice rod for what it's worth to clear it, but
I mean, we know the ice rod's gonna be a laser bridge, right?
fair.
Maybe.
Ice rod and small key will just both be there.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
So, yeah. You run enough. You look enough swirl logs for 80 keys, or keys for that matter. You're not gonna be surprised when you see the ice rod and the small key to this dungeon sometimes. Now, that means, of course, it's kind of memey as well. We're just kind of joking. We don't actually know where anything is.
What if the small key to that dungeon was actually just here in iced tea?
Ooh, it could have been.
Yeah, it was. You just
got
a third tier
ice
small key.
small. Oh, okay. Well, then, okay. Would you go up down then?
I guess. Well, I guess first I just Eastern. Because that's the
Okay, so
dungeon I
we're
can
not
fulfill.
gonna. Okay. So we are gonna go get 2 checks then with Eastern and not try and wait out for that pot big key.
Yeah, at some point it's just like, you know, it's a dungeon I can clear. I can get 2 items. Probably worth doing that before I go up to TR, which would really suck to leave my Ice Rod in Eastern. Presumably at some point we're gonna find a flute, and then it's like not the worst time lost to just do port on his own.
Yeah, this flute is actually for somewhat an item that is kind of locking, more than just like one thing, right? Because I don't know if you consider the flute to be a quote unquote major item, but it is pretty significant, not only for mobility, but also again right now it's locking mire area, the whole dungeon, locking mire like checkerboard, mire shed, it's kind of nowhere to be found. We also don't have a book, so it's like that whole the whole parts of the world is kind of locked out to us.
Yeah, at this point it sure seems like it's just gonna be in TR. We actually see Ralen make a pretty significant mistake here. He has the big key, but he still went back to it to switch. Which is pretty bad.
Oh, is it? Because we can't get to
unless
IC?
Yeah, because you have to go the long way to IC. You have to drop down and then walk back up the stairs and stuff. That costs like, I forget what it is. Like somewhere between 20 and 30 seconds. Like it's actually really significant.
That is actually a lot of time. Ice Palace routing, man, it is so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not easy. Yeah, I guess Zelga must have checked his menu because he is going for the big chest. Big chest for the big bomb.
I liked how we hammered down. How many pegs do you think normally you see people hammer down? Is it 3? Sometimes we get bonus pegs, you know? Yeah. It's just kind of nice for restream content.
There was some nice pegs. I wonder if he did that to, like... Okay, so we're actually skipping Ice-T on Ralen's side, which... I mean, there's another TR key out there, but... If it's not very accessible,
right,
that could be pretty bad. Yeah, that... Like, skipping an item, in 80 keys is not certainly unheard of. Like, the Meyer big key chest, the cutscene one, that probably gets skipped, significant amount of times. Ice-T probably is up there. But again, like, that being said, that TR small key is kind of, it's okay. The Kobe Amina just rose a little bit for the Ralen side, but as you said, there is still one more out there. Is this 100% locations or 100% inventory? Do you know? It's
like, can the key be locations? Okay. Okay, so key can't be self-locking, right? That's the
no, it can't. Part. Yeah, I think at first when they announced this mode, they had it 100% inventory, but then people complained wanted it as locations because that's just better and what everybody runs, and then they changed it. Yeah,
that makes a lot of. I mean, I think it's for the better for the change, just because again, like, if the 4th TR key, if it's 100% inventory and the 4th TR key is self-locking, like, Ralen needs to go back and get that key because that's the only other key available for him.
Yeah. The last TR key could still be in some awful spot that he might also want to do.
Yes.
Like,
correct. I mean, right, yeah, so right now, Ralen's, like, locations that he needs to go back to if he finds nothing, his last locations, isn't really, that appealing. We got Ice-T, we have Graveyard Ledge, Catfish, maybe kind of depending on what happens, maybe TR Big Key Chest, I don't know, we'll have to see. Okay, so we're kind of like, I won't necessarily say, like, even. Zelga has an outstanding item that he may or may not get to for Spike Key, which is Desert Big, and Ralen has a TR Small Key, which he, certainly won't get to anytime soon. But
yeah, that one is like actually skipped and gone. But the upside is there's another key that can bear out.
Exactly. Oh yeah, by the way, we found our last hash item, which is a shovel.
Yeah, true. Yeah, on Zaga's, I don't think Spike Cave is considered skipped for him. It's just like, delayed. Like, at some point he'll route it in if it's good. Gonna be hard for him right now unless he decides to do it as a one-off, because we have neither the book for Ether Tablet nor the small key for our basement. Hey, it's a
Yeah, it is a flute. Good thing we decided to do Eastern, by the way. And I did see that Zelga like came in this way to the pod area, like through pod, and he mirrored it Eastern. I mean, I think it was also again very pragmatic. You know, if you find the pod big here in Eastern, you just go clear pod, right? Or you just finish pod. We didn't. We just have to come back. You know.
Yeah, he does have one more key than when he was here the first time. Oh, pod is the last pendant. So the big key might actually just be in GT. For this work.
Okay. That makes me a little less optimistic that Zelga would do Spike Cave now, because he knows the desert and pod. You know, we did the map checks, are pendant, so maybe he's willing to just go and, you know, be, as you said, you know, just be in GT mode, you know, and just look for everything. Now,
he's still missing the ice rod for what it's worth.
Oh, that's okay.
For GT mode, so yeah, if the ice rod is in TR, for example, maybe he will do Spike Cave before committing to TR without the ice rod. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, kind of hoping that there's gonna be a book to show up somewhere, because maybe it'll kind of nudge Zelga over there. However, that being said, yeah, just kind of pointing out that, yeah, the flute would kind of give us both access to Mire and Desert now. Yeah. Once Ralen, ooh, are we going up to do TR now?
I think Ralen is just going to TR. He's just sending it.
I see. It's okay. I've read enough key spoiler logs to know that there is a small key to this dungeon on Laser Bridge, and then the ice rod will just be in Crystal Roller.
Yep, that's actually also happen.
But you know, for Ralen's sake, I'm certainly hoping that he's gonna be able to get something. At least he'll get something good that will force him back down the mountain. Like, if this is actually required, right, then, you know, yeah, we have a little bit of extra backtracking to go do, but at least the mountain trip won't be wasted.
Yeah. Well, worth Zelga has an additional desert trip here. So, I mean, it doesn't give the same amount of time back because the trip is way worse, but it's at least something. But yeah, a lot of it is going to be about when Zelga decides to check Spike Cave, I think, from this point on.
Yeah, and people are also in chat pointing out that, you know, we did find, you know, we picked up the Kate of Burna on Desert Ledge, which we finally have access to, so he will now at least know the Spike Cave is officially in Logic. I understand we had, you know, 4 bottles, we could just brute force our way in, but...
Yeah, you're kind of hoping that maybe Cape and Burn are just both in GT, and then you maybe don't have to bother as long as the pendant things show up. Although at this point we're still missing the big keys for 2 pendant dungeons on Zelga's side.
Oh yeah, that's true. We don't have Mire Big, so Zelga looks like he's gonna go in, and maybe we'll find the Mire Big in here. It's certainly possible.
No,
but
we do have Mire Big.
Oh, we do have Mire Big. Oh, sorry, I misread the tracker. No, sorry, that's totally my bad. I misread the tracker.
Yeah, so this is gonna be another crystal cleared. The only thing that's missing for finishing all crystals right now is the ice rod on Zelga's side, and Ralen also needs... Well, he needs to beat Amos to get his fruit, and he also needs a TR small on top of the ice rod.
Oh, see, what is the problem? Okay, Laser Bridge is a little compact today, but you know, we found the small key to this dungeon here in Compass Chest of Turtle Rock. What is the problem?
Yeah, all that's gonna happen now is that Zelga wasted time on Ice Tea, and he's gonna waste time on the Biggie chest and TR.
Exactly. See?
Which totally also has nothing.
You know what would be actually really great? Oh, okay. Alright, looks like Zelga. Okay, well, we're gonna see in this case if Zelga decides to skip cutscene chest. He's at least gonna delay it for the time being. I don't know if people, like, in this mode still do cutscene chests and last.
Yeah, for now we only have
we found
one key. Yeah, we found decent compass and jobs.
Nice. Okay.
The
We
best
finally
compass.
found. We can rest easy now. Okay, we can beat the game.
Yeah, we only have one Maya Smoky right now. And you need all 3 to put left side in Logic. So maybe Zelga just wants to cut a corner here It might be the key on Lumberjacks, which means it's locked behind Castle Tower, both Castle Tower keys, and it's also probably behind all crystals, because at least one Castle Tower key is probably in GT at this point, since we have found neither.
I was actually gonna say, so like, you remember when you were listing out all those items for Go mode, and we were just like, checking things off for a list, and however, like, those 2 Castle Tower keys are still very, looking pretty pristine on that list, untouched, unfound, as expected.
Yeah.
Although, I will say, like, for how much we, I guess, have done in this seed, granted, there is a lot of stuff out there. Oh, nice Ice Rod.
Oh.
There is,
Yeah, that's good for Zelga.
That's very good for Zelga. It's actually not good for Ralen, right? Yeah, because he's gonna go all the way to Laser Bridge and not find the Ice Rod.
Is this good for Zelga, actually? Well, okay, so I think Zelga will clear out all of GT before he does Spike Cave at this point. Because Zelga is in GT mode now.
Oh.
The good news is we probably need to clear out GT anyway for Castle Tower keys and the portal key. But yeah, Spike Cave is just going to be a bad one-off. Okay, it's not a GT key that's on Lumberjacks. We've confirmed that because we just found the 4th one.
All 4 of them.
In the TR
There's
picture.
a lot of GT keys, but I guess if given how much we're still kind of missing, right? As you mentioned, stuff can be GT, pod big. From Zelga's perspective, desert big, and then both GT smalls. Finding all 4 of them, like, maybe, this early may not be too unsurprising. Now, that being said, we do need all 4 of them, to show up in order to go beat the dungeon, but still, nice Hera small key. Are we happy seeing this? I don't think we're paying any attention to this.
Kinda, maybe? Like, that might push him towards Spike Cave post GT, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting when he does check Spike Cave at this rate.
Well, he is checking checkerboard. Again, there's some little things that maybe checkerboard is enough on the way, for Zelga to deal before he goes up to Turtle Rock. That being said, Spike Cave is is much harder to get out of. So.
Yeah, that one just ends your route. Like, that's just essentially a one-off.
Speaking of one-offs, though, we're gonna go check the shovel.
Okay, that's...
I also forgot about this.
That's interesting. Because he is in GT mode.
I think also we skipped cutscene chest on Zelga's side as well in Meyer, right? I don't remember going back to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, what are we missing logically for GT even? I think from Zelga's perspective, it's only missing the 4th TR small and 1 Ice Palace small, and both of these are just TR, as we saw on the Ralen side. So I don't know, it's interesting that he checked the shovel there. Or maybe just playing it safe.
Yeah, it could be maybe some combination of like hedging your bets. Like, do I think my opponent did this? Again, maybe these are considered to be one-off, fast enough, quote-unquote, checks for Zelga to do. Before going up, right? Because we did see in this case him skipping still Meyer cutscene chest. Probably actually really the only real thing that we have skipped, other than in this case Spike Cave, which arguably again is maybe not a skip, at least initially, and then here we are, right? We're gonna go BTR.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Spike Cave wasn't really a skip. It just wasn't in logic. It was an awkward brute force.
Exactly.
So, like, you just don't do it there. That's fine. What do you consider a skip?
No. I mean, and I think also it could be just like a matter of choice, right? And you see Ralen, I guess, routed in such a way that he wanted to get both, right? Even though it probably took him a little bit of extra time. But with how Spike Cave versus Spiral Cave is kind of situated, you kind of just pick one or the other, and then sometimes things happen.
Yeah, you're right. Zelga definitely put himself in a situation where he would never do Spike Cave. Even if he did end up finding Cape or Burner on the mountain. Whereas Ralen made sure to do Hera last, which would let him combine it into Spike Cave if he so desired.
Yeah, and I don't actually know if Ralen was influenced by the fact that he saw Burna on Desert Ledge, because because for all we know, maybe like the cave and Burna are just in GT somewhere, right? Or like you'll just never see it. And nobody actually wants to go to Spike Cave because it's not a very pleasant check, and it takes a lot of resources as well, right? Especially if you want to brute force it, you gotta go. You don't have anything in your bottle already, then you have to go and get something. All the stuff, right? It takes time. Alright, nice. Small key this dungeon for Zelga. We are gonna go actually be able to get the entirety of the dungeon.
Yeah, Zelga gets to waste some additional time on the lava chest.
Yeah, well, we'll just be, we'll just do Zelga D smug when he finds like the castle tower key or something, in the lava chest.
What if he finds a Maya Small? Wouldn't that feel great?
Oh, that would feel no. Although if Zelga finds anything here in the cutscene chest or lava chest of not cutscene, Biki chest of Tortorog, that is really bad for Ralen.
Yeah,
like,
that's basically GG if he finds God Big or CT Small in there. Like Zelga just wins at that point. But yeah,
Ralen picked up
way more likely for Fugash to just be in GT.
Yeah. Looks like that. Yeah, Ralen, I think, accidentally saving quit out to the wrong, not the desired location to go activate the flute for. But yeah, well, we'll get the flute. We'll go get to Mire and Desert for Ralen. Okay, if Desert Big is in Pod, or is it Pod Big is in Desert? I guess no, we're still missing both Castle Tower keys. Yeah, we probably are just gonna full clear GT. I was just hoping, thinking if there's like a scenario where Ralen like doesn't have to clear out GT. Maybe the rest of the stuff is early enough, that Ralen can quit early. And Zelga still have to finish up the rest of the dungeon for the basement.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility if things are just in Hope Room or Force Room, and then you can skip the rest of the basement. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Right now, Ralen is basically a mountain climb plus TR dip all the way to Laser Bridge behind Zelga, plus some more time from the game, where he just routed a bit less efficient for a last location scenario. But yeah, he did get back some time by skipping Ice-T and being able to skip Lava Chests, I guess. So yeah, it's hard to really quantify, but it's still definitely ahead.
Yeah. And Ralen is gonna get, so Zelga's gonna have to give a little bit more extra time that, he'll probably have to go back to Desert, right? And it's kind of also a matter of when he goes to Spike Cave as well, where the Castle Tower keys are. It also could be, I think this scenario maybe works out a little bit better for Zelga because he's probably gonna full clear the basement anyway. We found one Castle Tower key in GT, and then the second one just vanilla. And when that make you sad, make you sad.
Oh, it sucked.
Alright, we are gonna get another check though on Ralen's side versus Zelga.
Oh.
You'll see the big key chest of Misery Mire.
Okay, interesting.
If something is here, though, that will definitely put things very, is very, very favorable for Ralen.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Laser Bridge was a lot better, by the way, when it was only one chest.
For what Zelga has Mirror Shield, and it's actually faster to just walk over the bridges with the Mirror Shield instead of doing laser skips. But it's what you're used to do laser skips. Okay,
I mean, we got the boots, right?
Cuts and chest. Yeah, exactly. It's way more fun to use the boots.
You know what would be fun to see in Misery Mire? I love this room poggers, like the ones with the form for Sluggulas. For some reason, we never see that room.
Yeah, unfortunately, you only go there in doors or in open mode. This is keys, so we don't go there.
That's right. Yeah, unfortunate.
It's right there. Just go on.
Exactly. Just one room down, you know. All right, very nice fight by the way for Zelga. All right, this is crystal number 7. Yeah, you know, it feels like we made so much progress in the last like 40 minutes that we did the first half. Basically, we have suddenly 7 dungeons done out of the 11 that we need. Oh, sorry, no, we have 8 dungeons done. Yeah, because we have 1 pendant dungeon, which is swamp, and plus 7 crystals.
Yeah. Okay. Time to see what GT has to offer for us. How deep are the keys?
So, what would you do here regarding tile room? Is this something that you would do before leaving or climbing GT?
Maybe before climbing. I definitely would do it before the rest of the basement. Because we're just looking for 3 items.
Right.
4 items on Zaga's side, since he doesn't have the desert big. Yeah, just try to find the other stuff first. Probably do tile room before leaving. It's so hard to say. Kinda depends on how I feel in the moment too. Well, that's one early cast tower key.
Will we say full left? Zelga, you have all 4 keys. Please open the middle door. We're never gonna see the open door. That's so sad.
Don't go full left, it's teleport propaganda.
Alright, Ralen, I think was okay. Maybe he just missed the fairies or the fetches. He was trying to do spooky, and preserve his spooky variable by kicking up some dust. He had a little bit of issues with that, but looks like we're good. I was a little worried actually didn't preserve.
I assume he got it in the first room, so he knew he had it.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna go and get the Canberra Star Bits pot key in the back, because again we have all 4 keys for Zelga, for GT, of course, also for Ralen. So we don't have to go spend the extra time to go pick up the pot key.
Yeah, I think we don't need this key either, in theory, but so just doesn't really matter.
So I guess actually, what could that key on Lumberjack be at this point? It's a small key, right? Is it just Meyer small?
Yes. It's gotta be a Meyer small at this point, I think. It could be the second ice small as well. We do have 6 pot smalls, so it can't be that. Yeah, it's gotta be Meyer or ice. It can't be Skullwoods, because Skullwoods is a crystal, and there was a CT small in GT.
It's so great to see you have a boomerang in GT. Make things, slightly nicer for us.
Yes. Yeah, these rooms are so much better if you have a boomerang. It's so annoying when you have to use the cane or even worse.
Alright, we're gonna see some new things here on Desert. Big Chest and Boss is something that Zelga couldn't get to. I was actually wondering what that 4th sword is. Not gonna help. I mean, well, it'll help Ralen incrementally, yes, but I mean, like, it is not the thing that he, probably cares about at this point.
Great, we found a book.
Oh, okay, we found the other Castle Tower key. Sweet. Sorry, both Castle Tower keys are in GT, which is a pleasant surprise. So I guess we're just pot Big Go mode. Is that right? And Desert Palace Big Go mode for Zelga.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what the pot Big is. I mean, it's probably just here, but maybe it's somewhere interesting instead.
It could be tile room, It could, in theory, be vanilla. Is that right? We didn't check the big key chest and pod.
Yeah, true. We've by now assembled all 6 pot smalls. I think we found all of them outside of GT, right? That kind of makes me think there's just a skull small key.
Yeah,
in
I
Mickey chest or
believe
something.
that's true. I don't think we found anything in GT, correct? For pot smalls. That being said, I also don't remember when we got all of them, so.
Yeah. I think I looked at Zelga's tracker before GT and he already had all 6.
Okay.
Okay, are we doing tile room?
Looks
We
like
are,
the
okay.
answer is yes. Alright, at least one of the 2 tile rooms we're doing before we do the climb. You know, actually, yeah, when Fish voting for potentially Hera basement, that is something that Zelga can do without, you know, before climbing. If he wants to sit through it. Like, we picked up the book, so we can do Ether Tablet as well. Like, that's probably something that he can do. Once you maybe leave, I don't know if you want to do Hera basement. I don't know. Spike Cave is
No.
unfortunately not with
You
it.
don't do that before climbing. We still have 4 items in the climb and you have 1 item in Castle Tower. You're just gonna do those first.
We have green pendant turn-in on Ralen's side. You know, I kind of spaced out at the first part of the fight. I don't really know how he beat Lamos. But I did see that he picked up the green pendant, so that is another location for that pod pig.
Yeah, or don't do this, Zelga.
He's taking Ether Tablet, right? I assume that... But he won't probably do anything else, right?
I don't know, this just can't be correct. Like, yeah, I was saying he mirrored early. I also thought this was kinda early.
Oh, he didn't get tile room? Wait. As in, he didn't get the chest?
Yeah, I think he mirrored before it was done. Like, he didn't...
Oh. I see. Okay, I hope that wasn't on accident.
He must have a reason. Maybe he convinced himself that Desert Big and Pod Big can't be in GT for some reason.
Maybe he... Well, there are also...
I don't know how, because we haven't checked. We haven't checked pads, so like... You can't know.
Ralen is doing Hera basement, by the way. I mean, I think, you know, again, you mentioned actually, like, before, where, if, you know, depending on how you think your seat has gone, right? You can talk yourself into how, you know, what kind of a god route that your opponent took. And maybe, you know, and maybe talk yourself out of, you know, or talk yourself into doing some pretty terrible things. Now, that being said, I don't think Hera basement is a terrible thing, but it could be some deviation from, you know, or indication for Ralen to think that he may not be ahead.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Tyler's making a good point that he probably just tried to drop a Somaria block to hit the tile. To like break tile. That makes sense. So just to the next end, now he considers his check dead, which is fine.
Yeah, I can
there.
understand, yeah. I mean, and right, and we're just gonna eat the time loss for doing, you know, 1 tile room. It's fine. Things happen this season. Alright, it is not Hera basement, it is 10 arrows that could have been used if you choose to use your bow more liberally against Lamos, but, you know, we didn't know that we're gonna get 10 arrows from Hera basement, so I understand. We love Dead Rock, by the way.
I think Ralen could have squeezed through there if he had dashed right. Maybe.
Maybe.
That looked doable.
Sometimes, you know, the hitboxes or like the limitation for Dead Rocks can be pretty deceivable. Alright, Ralen has to go and finish up. He's gonna go BTR with the ice rod he found in Meyer bridge chest, which is great. He's gonna still can't get lava chest or the big key chest, which is fine because there's just nothing in there, and he's gonna save time. He doesn't know that, but it's good for him. And then I guess we're gonna also do GT as well.
Yep, pretty much. It's gonna be Ralen's next thing to do. Yeah, so after this on Zelga's side, he will do Castle Tower.
Yeah, very convenient.
Where he will go look for his Desert Big Key. We know he needs to go.
He
He only has one check without a big key
Oh
there.
no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking that was gonna be just big. He had more checks than just big key chest, but no, I think you're right. He only has one check there. I guess we're gonna go back maybe up the mountain. We have in theory 2 checks, Hera Basement and Spike Cave for him, even though they're like extremely long checks.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. That's kind of why I was confused why I was even doing Ether, because that should be like your first thing to do after you finish GT and Gas Tower. Just go get the 3 checks there. But now it's
I see.
no, you nerfed it to 2 checks. And he like added 2 GT stairs and 2 mirror transitions. That's kind of why I wasn't a fan of the Ether check earlier. But I also understand he like was probably, you know, kind of frazzled after, yeah, flustered after mirroring accidentally.
Yeah, very understandable. Oh, I guess, yeah, speaking of the book though, we have Bombos Tablet. That's going to be another location that we still have open to us. These are really great, again, isolated locations that we had to go find our one pod big for.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have 1 check in here. This is completely on the way, so hopefully, you know, for everyone's sake, that it's just here. Otherwise, we are going to go on a extremely fun scavenger hunt. Oh no.
I'm trying to think what Zelga even has left. There isn't much. Right? Like he has Hera Basement plus Spike Cave.
He has
after
Custom Chest and Meyer?
True, yeah. Yeah, which okay, if Lumberjack's really has a Maya small, like that's actually kinda scary for Zelga now because he skipped it, because he probably assumed that's the Maya small and he won't need to ever check cutscene chest, but now we're still missing the port key and to at least for him going to the desert big. So yeah, that makes that check probably, or that skip probably pretty scary for him.
Yeah, and I guess unless the green pendant turn in is pod big, he might be okay. I guess I'm just wondering where this pod big is. Because like we saw on Ralen's side, when he had the desert big, he cleared out desert, and there wasn't anything like on Lamos or the big chest, but there was the green pendant, so...
Yeah. That could definitely be it. And then there's Bombos. Yeah, it's interesting. There isn't actually much left. And Zelga's like pretty far ahead of Ralen right now. So even if he does locate Spike Cave, he might be fine. We'll see, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Very respectable distance, by the way. You know, as far as Zelga, I think that's actually, you know, quite good for him, by his own personal standards. So, good AGA Hall of Fame picture.
That's one for the fridge.
Alright, do you think, how many blue balls do you think this is gonna be? This is unfortunately not a setting where we have set the blue balls to be 0 in AD keys mode.
Yeah, for some reason they still haven't done that.
It's okay. You can play AD KDB or XD Hunt. No, not XD Hunt. AD KDB. I mean, you can play XD Hunt regardless, but that's not all AD.
You should play XD Hunt. But yeah. Yeah, when we made the preset for AD KDB, which is short for all dungeons, key drop boots, we set the blue balls to 0 because sitting through AGA blue balls after an AD key seat is just boring and unnecessary, and nobody wants to do that. And every AD keys mode should, you know, make that change, because we're trying to have fun with this video game.
Is that only 1 so far, though? Maybe it's not that big a deal, right?
And I went on a monologue, that's why I wasn't counting.
Oh, okay. It seemed pretty short, all things considered, so, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I did catch one blue ball. Alright, okay, we have... Okay, sounds good. Alright, we have found nothing in Castle Tower, but we have achieved another dungeon completion on our side. It looks like Zelga's gonna go after Bombo's tablet?
Or maybe Pod? No, Bombos. It looks like Bombos, yeah. Yeah, and for its worth, on Ralen's side, we saw Tile Room has nothing, so I got safe in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, this seed, because we got all the other kind of like fetch quest big keys early, like Swamp Big Chest, or Swamp Big Key, Ice Big Key, Skull Big Key was unfortunately still last location for, for Zelga, but, we're not going to put in these like situations where we have like one item left in, Thieves Town and one item left in Ice Palace, type of situation where you have to basically crawl through another dungeon just to go get one check. So at least it's kind of better in that sense. Like the last locations, even they're kind of not pleasant. Like they're still, more pleasant, I guess, than it could be.
Yeah. And Zaga's gonna get his Desert Big here. He'll probably sit through Hera Tile Room first. But yeah, then he'll get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There isn't really much left at this point, is there? Is Green Pendant the only thing we haven't seen?
We have not seen Green, and then Pod Bicky Chest.
Right, Pod Bicky Chest, yeah. But well, I guess either of those could be the last Skyward Small at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, so one of them has to be Skyward Small, one of them has to be Pod Big. Well, no, it could be Pod Big and then Skyward Smalls and Pod Big Chest or Helma.
Alright, Ryland's climbing. He did Tile Room early. One of the first checks I think he did. Yeah, so we have a very nice 17 out of 27. What are we missing?
Probably missing the torch.
There's only 4 items up here, right?
Yeah. Did he skip a room somewhere?
Did we skip ice arrows? I think, did he just leave out a random room? Did I just like not catch this?
Maybe for second CT small, and then just said I'm out here.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't found his, maybe because he hasn't found his third Skyward Small, and just thinks it's quite big, blocks the third Skyward Small.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, we get his confirmation. Thank you. That he did in fact just leave after random room. I was like, I don't remember seeing the ice armor fight. But I also, I very much trust the compass to GT. That's why we pick up the compasses to help us count. And there's a very nice 17 instead of a, 20, 22, or 23 for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly not the worst gamble to make.
I heard there was full left mentioned.
I don't think there was a full left.
Plus hope room. Oh, by the way, yeah, Zelga has finally picked up his Desert Palace Big Key in Spike Chest, so we're gonna go see a Lamos kill now, presumably. We'll do Lamos and then Big Chest, and then Green Pendant turn in?
Yeah, probably. We are missing just one item, so if that's on Lamos, then we can skip the Big Chest, so we're doing Lamos first. But he's probably gonna go back and do the Big Chest before turning in his Green Pendant.
Now, I know that Zelga went to go to Hera base before this, so I know he has plenty of arrows, given that we picked up 10 in the basement, and we can see it on the quiver. However, that being said, I don't see the number of arrows dwindling all that many from his quiver count.
That's because he gets a very, very good bow Lamos fight, right?
Yes, I do expect a 1 cycle from, using silvers. I guess he's trying to save time. Maybe he, can't waste anymore given how he thinks his early game went. But, for what it's worth, it's not like, I think this seed really made it difficult for you to feel good about how you played in the, first, 45 minutes or whatever. Yeah, Ralen was almost going to die, trying to get this did we
but he doesn't even need it. No, he doesn't.
Alright.
You really did not need to get that. It's okay. It's just nerves.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, like we're watching, these two guys, race. We're here for the entertainment, of course, for the support. It's a really good race so far. Very entertaining. But these guys are fighting for their tournament life because this is a bracket, round of 64 elimination match. They both went 1-1. We mentioned that earlier. Zelga won the open mode, which was Ralen's choice, and Ralen won the cross hunt mode, which was Zelga's choice, and now they're battling out 80 keys.
Alright, now we're gonna.
I believe you.
Yeah, that's nerd. Unless you god routed it, you're always gonna ask yourself this question. But yeah, this is going to be our pod big key, either here on Saha with a green pendant or in pod key test. Which one will it be? It's a key test.
Did we skip any heart pieces or containers on our path? I'm just wondering if we're gonna get to 20 hearts.
Yeah. I think Catfish had a heart piece.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Good memory, Gem, for remembering what Catfish had.
Yeah, I remember very vividly that Catfish also has trash. We have done one more salad. Yeah, there's two checks left after this, which is the big chest and Karma, which are both big key locks.
The big chest. I forgot about the big chest. Alright, so this has to be pot big, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's the big key of this dungeon.
Yeah, I wonder how Zaga feels about this, because he was here on 3 keys. And like I mentioned earlier, like the quote-unquote meta way to spend your additional key without a big key is to check the big key test. So you might be worried that Ralen just has that.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's certainly very feasible for Ralen to have also done purple chest. I mean, may not necessarily be likely. Again, because at that point when Zelga did purple chest especially, he had to commit to it pretty early. He had to do, because we didn't have the mirror, first trip through Dark World with no hammer, Zelga committed to going back to CAC the second time to turn in the Smith, and then did purple chest, right? Ralen still could have done that, before, and gotten to pod, with the with that third key, as well, and spent it differently.
Yeah, and then you had the opponent always gods routes, so
exactly.
Zaga's right now just expecting that done it at any moment.
Yeah, and again, sometimes, depending on how your earlier mid game or potentially even late game goes, sometimes it can mess with you for. Because you gotta make sure, especially for a mode like 80 keys where you do everything, right? It is a longer mode, needs a little bit more endurance. If you kind of get, a little bit frazzled earlier on, they kind of compounds, right? The longer the seed goes. Okay, also very respectable distance on Ralen's side.
Yeah, nice job both. Both are fridge worthy. And yeah, Zaga takes down Helma. He already has killed Aga, so now after he gets the pendant, he just needs to save and quit, and he'll be right on the pyramid. And he can drop in and beat the guy.
After all of this, how many locations do we have left in the game, by the way? We had 2 checks? No, we have 1 check in pod, which is the big key. Or, yeah, which is the big chest.
Yeah, that's collectively the only check we haven't seen.
What do you think the CR is going to be?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen
I
pad
did
either,
forget about pedestal.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, either pad or pod big chest has to be the last that was smarty.
I guess we skipped
Unless
technically
it's on
lumberjack.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one has to be, well, Ice or Maya, I guess. It definitely can't be scoreboards because both CT keys were in GT.
All right, nice triple to finish up the seed for Zelga. Big GGs. We
Yeah,
have
GG
an
Zelga.
advancer, for 80 keys, winner for game 3, and Zelga's going to be moving on to the round of 32.
Yeah, nice job. Alright, Ralen is now on his way to get his go mode in pod.
Oh man, so I just looked up the bracket for who Zelga's going to be facing next. He is going to be facing the face of SGL 2024. PH.
PH.
Yeah. Yo, speaking of Zelga, welcome in. GG's.
Yo.
Yeah, GG Zelga.
Thank you.
How did you feel about what you were looking for at the very end? Any clouds come to mind?
That was a little frustrating. There were so many things, like little things that I typically do in my routing that if I had done them would have made the seed so much smoother. And instead we get this end game of grasping at little needles in haystacks. But like if I go to pod with 3 keys and no big key, I almost always do the big key chest. If I'm doing the mountain, whenever I was up on the mountain, I was thinking I didn't get that much open to me, and I was like, okay, Turtle Rock's probably available. I'll just mirror and do Mimic Cave and Spiral Cave together. So then when it wasn't open, I had to mirror and do Spiral Cave and Mean Die Orphan Spike Cave, which I normally would have done with my red potion. So like all the big keys I would have had if I just did my normal routing, but instead we get this.
Oh no. Yeah, I think spending your 3rd key in pod on the big key chest is like the usual way people do it, right? Yeah, unfortunate that that was the correct choice in this one.
Yeah, and I almost went back in after Eastern too. Like I set up the portal because I did Pyramid Fairy right before, and I was like, I'll go into pod, and if it's a crystal, I'm gonna do the big key chest. But when it was a pendant, I was like, I really don't want to have to search the GT basement for a pod small go mode. I would hate myself. So like I'm just not doing it. So I even had a second chance to do it, and I just refused.
Yeah, but that's very fair. Yeah, I figured it'd be something like that. I saw that you even went back into Dark World and then into Magic, and then yeah, it's so risky to spend your 4th pod small key for a pendant.
Yeah, I mean a lot felt pretty bad in this one, honestly. Like hard last location hook shot to start things off, but honestly the way the seed played out where you had to go like over to Skull to get all your swords first, I don't think most people get that hook shot too much earlier. It's just still one of those things always nagging in the back of my head the entire seed. Just a lot of little things in this one, but at the end of the day I felt like I did pretty good efficiency just getting to all the things that I had to leave behind the first time through areas.
Yeah, your route definitely was very efficient. So your last location hookshot, Ralen still had Catfish left when he eventually went for Cat Tower. But you were like 2 checks at that point, despite him skipping Catfish when you went to Cat Tower. So your efficiency really paid off in the early game.
Okay, that's interesting, because I would just guess we probably got there about the same time, or possibly if Ralen had skipped Mirrorless Smiths, that he might have even beat me to it by a few minutes.
Yeah, he did skip Mirrorless Smiths, but then he went back to those before Cast Tower.
Yeah, understandable.
That's probably the main reason.
I was curious. What happened in GT Tile Room? Did you just mirror met on accident?
Yeah, so my typical tile room strategy, when the last 5 blocks, a Samaria block will block the last 5 tiles, and then you get the chest to spawn before the hand pops. It turns out that blocks do not spawn when you have the mirror equipped.
I have learned a valuable lesson today.
Yeah, not the greatest mind there. I was just sitting there thinking like the whole time. I was just thinking ahead, like, what do I want to do after GT? What's my next priority? And I didn't even look at what I had equipped. That's just totally on me.
It's okay. You can come back from vacation, you know, you just get back in the swing of things, right? So there's welcome back, by the way.
I was so sure that was one of my big keys whenever I was climbing and getting nothing. I was so sure of it. But it was still going to be my last location on principle.
Yeah, I think it was just
Alright.
3 bombs in the end.
Yeah, there was like nothing important, and I think any of the things that you ended up skipping, intentionally or not. So that's that's what you want to see, a seed where you collected 198 out of 216. All right. By the way, Ralen has finished. Also, big GGs to him. I mean, I think he fought a very valiant race. I think maybe again, like for how badly maybe you thought your seed went, Zelga. I don't think Ralen had a much different experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sometimes whenever these when the seeds are kind of rough and you're playing through, sometimes it helps to know you're not the only one playing through the rough seed, and that they're probably hitting the same decision points and having the same troubles.
Yeah.
We are also joined by Ralen. GGs.
Yeah, GG's round.
GG.
Yo, GG's.
Yeah, so I think you heard what Zagado said. You sure also shared in his misery and had a great time being late to that hook shot and all the other stuff.
I mean, like, the hook shot was the first big bad thing. Like, prior to that, especially with getting the flippers early out of Skullwoods after that mountain dip, like, I had a bit of hope that I maybe get a route where if there's an early swamp and I can access it earlier than Zelga does, then maybe I can make something out of it. But that hook shot, there's basically no chance you get that in any good way, since you forced it to castle early for both gloves, and then have literally no reason to come back, no mirror to get from permit there. So yeah, it's just bad to get, and like it's hard to avoid Eastern for too long when it's 4 items in logic compared to 1. Yeah. With the hook, I basically knew, okay, any advantage that I might have gotten has gone down the drain. This is even race, probably at best, maybe a minute or 2 difference. And yeah. Against Zelga, I know that I need to find something else. And then when I was looking for the flute because it wasn't showing up at locations were going down, like, I could go to Eastern for 2 items, or I could go to TR for 10. I went for the 10, and it was the 2.
Yeah, that kind of was what, like any chance for you at the end there. You did make some good skips. You skipped Ice-T, which did have a TR Smoky, which was kind of scary at the time, because we already saw it on Zaga's side, but then this one was just right there in TR. And then you're skipping Ice Amos, right?
Yeah. By that point, like, I knew I had the double dip TR that was practically unnecessary if you go to Eastern, and if we both go to TR, it's still an even race, which I probably lose in the long run. So, like, it was pretty set that when I knew, okay, I go to GT, I still missing 2. Once I find the 1, especially if I'm already quite deep in, I just skip the rest, go for the climb. And I mean, by that point, it was like 5 versus 5 items plus ether tablet that I kinda went for. So basically 50-50 in the point. And I was always going to pot after that with Green Pendant. So, like, the intention behind that would have paid off, and it was just that Zelda was too far ahead by that point.
Yeah, but that was still a pretty good assessment of the race, so Yeah, you definitely knew you had to make a play there, and it wasn't enough, but it definitely paid off, at least somewhat. That was,
I was also
pretty good.
Yeah, I was also prior to that, since I did go into the TR double dip. I was kind of playing towards maybe finding the fourth TR key that we didn't get easily. That maybe wasn't pot. I don't know, or I didn't know at the time, so that I could potentially have the lava chest as a out for winning there, but that's unfortunately that didn't really come to play either. But that was the reason why I did Hera Basement prior to TR instead of after for efficiency, since I kind of wanted to have that one more chest that maybe could win me the race instead of just following what Zelga did.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was just hard to have a good, I think, early / mid game. Like, yeah, the hook shot was definitely last location for both of you. I mean, understandable, but I don't think it ever feels good. And then, yeah, and I think probably the biggest difference between your route and Zelga's route was that you went to Turtle Rock early. Did you know that the iced tea key that you skipped was Turtle Rock out of curiosity? Turns out it didn't matter, but that was where the fourth one was.
No, I didn't know by that point. But Zelga told me in the race room after.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it could have been only 2 chests at the end there that I never checked, and what was Ice Tea and Harmless Away. Those were the only 2 chests I didn't check that could legally have that fourth TR key.
Mhm.
Everything else was GT locked by that point. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a very fun race. It was somewhat interesting, but at least like the later half was. But thank you guys so much for racing. Zelga, so best of luck moving forward. For the brackets. It looks like you're faced up against PH. Any thoughts about this?
It should be good times. I've played PH a lot in some co-op things, like Pilot Spoiler or like the co-op tourneys, but I don't think we've done many 1v1s, so should be a lot of fun.
Which you're saying then that you're going to show that you are the stronger pair of, or the person out of the pair, right? So you're gonna you're just gonna crush PH. You don't need anybody else to help you.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be tough for sure, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, I mean, and Ralen, of course. I think this is like the end of at least the main tournament for you. I hope you had fun. Are you also in the duality tournament for the German tournament?
I am, and there is, I want to say, a race scheduled for tomorrow. We do have a bit of issues finding times because always one of the persons cannot play at a certain day, and it's kind of changing through, so it's actually a bit awkward to find racing times. But yeah, it is definitely a fun mode, and I'm looking forward to it. I was very, very disappointed that the league didn't pick it up for the last season. Or maybe a slight nudge towards anyone from the league. If you want to look for another co-op mode, co-op duality, it's a very, very fun mode to play, I want to say. Certainly something worth looking at. But yeah, looking forward to it. Unfortunately, probably not gonna have much chance there either. We are the big underdogs in that group, but maybe Rendo's on our side this time.
Yeah, I mean, the mode definitely looked really fun. It looked really interesting. Both people have like different things to do. Who are you playing with?
I'm playing with Death King, so basically
Okay.
From League Season 2 and 3, and I think 4 teammate. Didn't play the last 2 ones, but for this tournament we found back together.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, certainly best of luck. I mean, as long as you have fun. Yeah. But yeah, you don't really know what's gonna happen. With Rando. Like for example, you picked open, and then Zelga picked cross hunt, and then you won the other one, right? So, different things can happen. Okay, I think maybe let's do it for us. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much. Well, again, it's a very entertaining race. And of course, Zelga, best of luck. Maybe scheduling a PH will be, well, I guess like he's on West Coast, right? So it'll only be 3-hour difference between you and him this time.
Yeah, should be easier to do that midweek for sure. But yeah. Yeah, big GG's to Ralen again. Thanks for a fun series, and best of luck going forward. And yeah, thank you for the commentary, Clearmouse Jim. Thank you for the tracking. One kind of syrup, Nervendom. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Can only second that.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have been able to be part of this restream. Thank you so much, John. Always a pleasure to be able to do commentary with you.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for asking. Thanks for putting on a great show, you guys. And yeah, thanks to our trackers for tracking.
Yes, one kind of syrup and Nerven Deutsch. I mean, these guys were amazing. Everything was accurate and prompt. So super thankful. And yeah, they were, very active also in chat, various parts to be able to point out everything that was actually accurate. That's, like I said, the trackers are the ones who actually watch the race, and the commentators are just there to talk. So thank you guys so much. A lot of fun. And so so I don't actually know, Muffins versus Flip Peel on SpeedGaming 3 might still be going on. It's 80 keys. I'm not quite sure if that's actually on. But later tonight, there are actually going to be 2 more, at least like restream races. Dunka versus Beer on SpeedGaming at 6:10, and then Skelly versus Jammo on SpeedGaming as well. Both of them are open games, part of the main tournament, I believe 2nd round. So good luck to everyone. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great, early start to your weekend.